are we in for a blow off top now? Do you think that a blow off top is finally coming to Bitcoin? How high do you think Bitcoin can go? And are we actually going to get an altcoin season this time as well? If there was going to be a pullback, for example, on Bitcoin, where would it happen? Well, as I've been saying, Bitcoin's basically been following or actually acting in tandem with the US stock market, right? This was the big drop around from Feb earlier, right? Drop to bottom April 7th, right? This, you think I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart, but this is actually just the US 500, SP 500 chart. They look exactly the same and break into a new all-time high, right? So, and I even said here when Bitcoin dropped from 112 on the Bitcoin chart, you can see Bitcoin dropped from 112K back down to 98.1K because I said it's going to need to wait for a confirmation from SP 500. Once the SP 500 breaks through, then Bitcoin breaks through. And that's what we had. We literally had SP 500 breakthrough Friday last week, and then we had Bitcoin breakthrough Thursday this week. Well, Friday this week, right? So now, but this episode, I'm going to tell folks which altcoins, at least the narratives that I'm looking out for, right? I'm going to name two major narratives, two areas to look out for them. So, but before we do that, have a look at the SP 500, right? If you are going to try to do a pullback, because there's been no pullback so far. There's a 25% jump within a matter of from April 7th to what? To July 7th. So in a matter of 3 months, we've had a 25% jump in SP 500. That's not normal at all. In fact, that's crazy moves. It's probably one of the most craziest moves we have ever seen. So if you were going to do this, if you're going to do a pullback to scare people, this would be a place to do it, because this is where you do, if it goes down, people would say, scream, double top, right? And it would only make sense if you go below the support area here, which is around 609. It would be very strong to just bounce off 609 and then keep going. But if it got below 609, something like this, right, into the 590s, then people would be like double top and people would freak out, and that would cause some people to sell. So, for example, if SP 500 got a little bit higher to say 650s and then it pulled back, and then people would expect, right, and then people would say, a new all-time high is confirmed, and then this 612 area where the all-time high was, it would bounce off there and then keep going, right? So right now it's best time to freak people out with a double top dip, right? And that, I think, would probably cause Bitcoin to pull back a little bit. Not a lot. I'm not in the camp that I think Bitcoin's going to pull back a lot. I think probably because once Bitcoin broke through 112K and it moved up with such strong action, so then it's very likely to make Bitcoin actually go down from here. So a sell-off in the stock market here, as long as it's not a panic sell-off, a slow sell-off in the stock market here actually means the money could rotate into the Bitcoin ETFs like IBIT on Wall Street. And you know, that rotation could actually push Bitcoin up a little or support Bitcoin. So whilst we're here, this is the chart we've got for the SP 500. Just keep an update for folks who are wondering what's happening with the blow off top. So here was the COVID bottom, dropped to March, mid-March 2020, COVID bottom, then wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and a final blow off wave, something like this. Mid to high 600s, and something like this. And September to November, we top, and then the bear market begins, and probably one of the biggest bear markets of all time. So now which altcoins would Pablo be looking at? Before we answer that question, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo Jimenez use? Well, Pablo uses the exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't need to show your ID. So that's why the exchange doesn't know even who you are. The IRS can't see you. The tax office can't see you. The FBI, CIA, nobody can see you. That's why I made this great deal with them. And just by depositing and trade, win up to 18,000 USDT bonuses, right? And 20% bonus just by depositing. Deposit $100 get 20 USDT futures bonus. Deposit $1,000 and win 200 USDT futures bonus, right? These are all rewards by hitting certain trading volumes, get up to $18,000, right? Okay, this finishes on 12th of August. We're just starting this, so another month to go. Finishes on 12th of August. Okay, so if you are watching this on YouTube, then the link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. But if you're watching this on any other platform, such as this one, then basically just go and click on my profile page, and there it is. The link is called the Stand link or my link tree, and it should be the first deal that pops up because this is a great deal. Okay, let's get back to it, folks. But remember, this deal is only on the Pablo He-Man link. Only on the Pablo He-Man link. Okay, so with now let's look at Bitcoin, since we've been looking at the Spider ETF. Now, Bitcoin in itself, as I was saying before, Bitcoin tends not to pull back and give people a second chance once it breaks through. So, so just like we saw before, like on the run up, like we saw before. Here, you see how it doesn't pull back. Even the consolidation tends to consolidate upwards until it made a new all-time high, then it pulls back. So here, if this move was for real, it's not likely to pull back to 111, 112K, but more likely just consolidate sideways and keep on moving up. But as I was saying, if the stock market dumps, then that might force Bitcoin to pull back a little. Okay, which altcoins am I looking at? As I said, as I was telling folks, around here, when Bitcoin was around here, trying to break through 111, 112, 113, flirting with new all-time highs, I took some profits because I wasn't sure from the whale signals I was seeing, I wasn't sure that it was going to break through. So I wanted to take some profits in case if we got a pullback, then I could buy some more on the dip here. Now, the good news is, of course, as it turns out, if you watch my last episode, Bitcoin broke straight up because China suddenly announced its strong interest in crypto and stable coins. But the good news is Bitcoin has made this big move up, but a lot of the altcoins are still kind of just pulling back, such as, for example, others. Have you seen the others chart? Here it is. So if we look at others, you see that this is total crypto market cap of everything other than the top 10, such as Binance, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. So if you look at it, it's basically, if we were to draw this entire mini bear trend line from early December 2024, then you can see we've actually just broken out, right? Broken out 2 days ago. And yes, this doesn't look good, a small double top, but hopefully we pull back and just hold this 250 billion, might even wick down a little bit lower and then bounce up we go. Because we don't want it to be a fake out and get back underneath, start closing back underneath this red line, because, this is obviously the trend line that's been holding for this entire mini bear market this entire time. And this 249 is 250 level. The blue line is also an important level as well, right? Important horizontal support. The red line, they all cross at this 250, 249 billion area. We wanted to bounce off here and keep going. That kind of depends on Bitcoin strength as well. And the question about altcoin season is this. I do think altcoin season's now finally coming. If we use the definition of Bitcoin dominance actually going down, if we use that as the definition of altcoin season, then I think we're finally about to get it as Bitcoin goes into this euphoric phase where Bitcoin hits something like anywhere between 140 to 165K in between September to November. That's my conservative estimate. It can always go higher. People say 200, 250, 300K, whatever. That's the icing on top of the cake. That's the euphoric bull run. That's the blow off top to end of a century bull run, right? But conservatively, I think what's achievable is between 140 to 165K, being I've always been calling for this blow off top. This was part of the plan even for the last 2 years, 1.5 years. I've been calling for this. So the problem with altcoin season is this. When the altcoin season comes, this time it's going to be so diluted that not every coin is going to run. Maybe every coin moves up a little, but most, if you want those 10x, 20x, 50, 100x runs, it's going to happen in a minority of the altcoins because there's just too many altcoins. And it's going to happen basically in selective narratives. So which narratives are those? Well, we can take a guess here and say, look, things like anything to do with stable coins, that's a big narrative. And real world assets, RWA, that's related to stable coins. And then also DeFi, because when you have those stable coins, you're going to put it into decentralized finance, DeFi. And AI, that's always a hot one as well. So AI agents, some of those are big narratives. But I'll show you guys the profits that I took 2 days ago, where I have already rotated them into. For folks who are familiar with what I've been doing, you can already see that these are the treasury stocks or Bitcoin crypto stocks. So, for example, this SBET, right? The SBET is basically the MicroStrategy of Ethereum. MicroStrategy, you know how MicroStrategy buys a lot of Bitcoin? Well, this is MicroStrategy of Ethereum. They actually just announced on Friday that they bought something like $27 million worth of Ethereum straight from the Ethereum Foundation. So there are rumors and people are saying this SBET is kind of backed by it's backed by Ethereum Foundation itself. I mean, the founder, one of the largest holders, private shareholders of this company, listed on the Nasdaq, is Joseph Lubin, and Lubin is actually one of the 6 co-founders of Ethereum. So it's not a crazy theory. Now, look at this. What I want to show you guys is this. There are a number of there are 5 or 6 of these Ethereum treasuries that's worth looking into, and usually I feel psychologically better investing in something once it's crashed like this. But then look at this chart, look at this trend line. It's still looking pretty good. It right now holds $750 million worth of Ethereum, and its market cap is 1.4 billion. So its market cap, MNAV ratio, MNAV ratio, or market cap divided by net asset value, is 2-to-1. It holds 750 million, but its market cap is 1.4 billion. So in a situation like this, if you look at MicroStrategy, does anyone know what's the market cap of MicroStrategy? MicroStrategy was something like $130 billion at its peak. Right now it's gone down, it's like 118 billion. So it was probably like $140 billion at its peak. So SBET, the largest Ethereum ETF, not ETF, but treasury stock, is now 100x smaller. 100x smaller than MicroStrategy. Let's say if it only gets to 10% as large as MicroStrategy, that's a 10x from here, right? Here's another one, B Miner. I always think B Miner is a good one because Tom Lee, I've explained this before, is a major Wall Street, strategist, and he's quite famous. So the place I'm looking to pick it up is starting to around $33 and then $20. And this one's market cap is at 250 million. I have a feeling it's gone lower than that. It's gone lower because, but I'll double check. So a few more here. So BTBT, BTCS, and Game. These are mining companies. So BTBT was from memory, a mining company, but they've given that up and they're now become a Ethereum treasury. right? Ethereum treasury, and it's basically just buying lots of Ethereum. Its market cap. I should probably lift this higher so folks can see it better. Let's see, BTBT, and I should scroll this up. Okay, BTBT, we can all see now. Is a market cap is around $1 billion, right? We can see that around $1 billion there, and it's so it's almost as big as SBET. Then in that case, I think it's overvalued. Something that I really like, I've also been dollar cost averaging into, not financial advice, is this thing called BTCS, which was also a crypto stock, but now it's becoming a Ethereum treasury. It's only market cap $105 million. And if it becomes like Metaplanet, which is at $7 billion right now, if it only gets to 10% of where Metaplanet is at, then that's 700 million. Then that's 7x from here. If it catches up to Metaplanet, that's 70x from here. Here is GameSquare. GameSquare is basically a game company, but it's also right now market cap again also 78 million, and again same thing. It's buying lots of Ethereum, becoming an Ethereum ETF, Ethereum treasury, could have big runs. That's one direction. Another direction that I'm thinking about, and I've been buying, is Hashkey, and also I've been telling folks, I think this is not the top. I think this is sideways consolidation and then breakout, because there's massive China narrative going on. China's finally coming in to be very positive on crypto and stable coins, because they want to bring out their yuan to be backed by stable coins to be traded around the world. This one is CFX. CFX is and was the #1 China crypto, and after it had some small pops, like from 12 cents, from 10 cents up to 27 cents after these small pops. Even in 2024, it had a really big run. Look, in 2024, this is all after the bear market. It ran from bear market low of 2 cents up to 47 cents. So that's 25x run, 10 cents up to 50 cents, a 5x run. And then, but that's all been dwarfed by the all-time high, which traded around like above $1.50. So right now, look, if I put it on even, that's what it looks like on regular, but if I put it on logarithmic chart, this is what it looks like. We've come back down to here. This is 6 cents level, and we can see there's some solid support here. Double bottom, I believe it is, and now we're just looking to break this double bottom. So from 6 cents to 10 cents, if this double bottom breaks, then we can project something like 14 cents. So next stop is here, and then if we break that, something like 23, and then 29 cents. I've explained already in my last episode why China coins are a big theme right now, big narrative, because China's trying to compete with the US. And when US brings out mega legislation such as the Genius Act, such as such as how to bring back life to the US dollar with the stable coins, then China wants to match that as well. And both Hashkey and CFX are two China coins that definitely deal in the stable coin space. Okay, thank you for your time, guys. I'll catch you next episode.